never in a million years did I think I would be diagnosed with cancer. I think for me, I first started noticing it at home. I like to do homework on the floor, laying on my stomach, and I felt a lump. And, I told Mom, I said, this doesn't feel right, what's really going on? So I went to the doctor, and that was 9/11. They told me that I had a cancerous mass.
I met Dalton the day he found out about his tumor, and my role has been, together with Dr. Cost, to decide the medical kind of oncologic decisions of his treatment, so the chemotherapy and when to give it. Well, it's always hard to know what causes cancer, especially in Dalton's case where it's a very rare cancer. It's even harder to know what causes it. But I know he went to his pediatrician with some kind of vague abdominal complaints, and they did the imaging where they did the CT scan, and that's when they found the tumor, and his pediatrician sent him to the oncology department here at Children's.
So I first met Dalton when I was on the consult service for cardiology. He was diagnosed with hypertension, and he was found to have a mass in his abdomen that was thought to be contributing to that. So originally I was involved in looking at his echo and possible causes of what was giving him this high blood pressure, and then the treatment of his high blood pressure to get his blood pressure down and make sure that he was stable throughout this, because the mass actually went into his blood vessel, the inferior vena cava that goes into his heart. So we wanted to make sure there was enough blood flow going around that so that he would have adequate blood pressure throughout his course.
Dalton was diagnosed with adrenocortical carcinoma, which is a long word, so we shorten it to ACC for the adrenocortical carcinoma is what those stand for. And it's a very rare diagnosis. It's more common in adults, but even in adults it's very rare. And in children it's exceptionally rare. And for Dalton, his is even a little bit more unusual because when we see it in pediatrics, we more commonly see it in younger children than we do in adolescents.
Well, the first thought was, I have an idea because a little bit of my background in science and the anatomy of the body, the adrenal gland. So I'm looking at Dalton, literally looking at him and saying, you're going to go through a lot, but I said, you're going to make it. You're going to make it. And I said, we will be there to fight the whole way. And this is what we're doing.
Well, for me and Dalton, it was going to be a typical day. We thought that he might just have some minor infection, and we were going to go to the hospital to get an ultrasound, and then we had plans to drop Dalton off at school after that and have a normal day. Obviously it didn't turn out that way. I remember Dalton and I driving up to the hospital together, and we talked a little bit, but there were some large silent moments while we both sort of ran through our heads what this could mean. Of course it turned out to be something that was going to turn our lives upside down for a good deal of time going forward.
So probably the most remarkable thing is how Dalton has responded to his treatments. He's gotten chemotherapy, he's had multiple surgeries, had a surgery in his abdomen to remove the mass. He also had a surgery in his lungs to remove parts of the cancer that went to his lungs. And you would go into his room the next day, and he would have pain medicine, but you would hardly know he just went through a major surgery. It didn't matter what time of the day I would walk in, he would always wake up and say, "Hey Jake, thanks for coming by." He's just that type of person that no matter what he's going through, he always seems to find the bright side of it, which is really remarkable.
So the objective is always to cure all our patients, and obviously that was the objective for Dalton. So he's concluded 6 cycles of chemotherapy right now. We took out the primary tumor in his belly and all the metastases that we could see by imaging.
So as far as we know, we've taken out every bit of the cancer that we can see. Cancer is always tough because we know that there are cells or things that can linger behind that are not visible on the imaging that we have, and that's the reason why even after surgery we often, in many of the diagnoses that we take care of, continue to administer chemotherapy to try to take up any of that that's not visible to our human eye. Our goal is that he's going to be cured of this, and our goal is that he is going to be cancer-free. And I don't think we would have put him through all of the treatments that we've done if that weren't our ultimate goal. And so that's our hope and our plan, is that that's how he will be.
The support system at Children's has really been amazing. Miss Carrie has just been such a wonderful lady. You know, she's consulted with people about me. She's done everything she can. She has been able to get me the best treatment. You know, it's such a warm place compared to other hospitals that I've been in. You know, everyone is friendly. You know, they talk to you. You know, they're very interested in, you know, your life. You know, they get to know you, and I think that really helps in, you know, treatment because, you know, it's a very positive atmosphere. You know, they've all been so kind, and I know in my heart that they've done possibly everything that they possibly could for me. And, you know, that means a lot. It really does, because, you know, it's your life. And to just have that support, just, you know, it makes the world for me.
Yeah, I think having a support network and a positive attitude is enormous. That it's really difficult to routinely go through what he's gone through, where it's not just a one-time treatment and then he's done. He has to go through something that makes him feel really sick and miserable, and then repetitively do that over and over again. So I think without the positive reinforcement, without the support that he has, and I think for Dalton, without his dance and having something to really look forward to and to drive him and to push him, I don't think we'd be where we are today. That I think, despite what I'm doing, I think the real driving motivation for him is the ability to get out and do what he loves. So we've worked really hard to try to make that happen whenever we can, even if that means delaying chemotherapy. And so I totally agree that having a positive attitude and having that degree of support is as important as what I'm doing, if not more important.
I'd like to welcome you all to the 2015 Dance for a Difference. This is our 8th year doing it, and Dance for a Difference really means a lot to me, especially this year. I see how much, you know, it helps children who are in need. I want to thank you all for your support and for coming here and, you know, helping us raise money. You know, it's for such a good cause. You know, there's so many kids out there who are ill and need help, and the Children's Hospital provides so much. And I've been so blessed to be able to be treated there and to be part of the show. And so again, welcome to our 8th year of Dance for a Difference, and I hope you all enjoy.